Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Exploring Careers. I'm Mitch from the team here at Explore Careers, and today we're lucky enough to be joined by Libby, who is the HR manager at SAS. Thank you so much for joining us today, Libby.
Hi Mitch, great to be with you today.
I'm excited to get stuck into this one as we've been working with SAS for quite a while now, so excited to talk to you today. Before we get started, are you able to tell us a bit more about SAS, who you guys are and what you do for people who this might be their first time even hearing of SAS?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a global software vendor, so focused really on data analytics. We're the world leader in data analytics. And we really help organisations, be it government agencies, big business, not-for-profits, even universities, to understand the data that they have, because we know there's vast amounts of data that organisations are collecting, and we help them with that data to gain insights from that data that actually help them make better business decisions. So really bringing all that information together, making faster, quicker business decisions so they can solve their complex business issues. And that can be anything from, a simple example is the banks and managing fraud, and we know there's a lot of fraud unfortunately happening and scams happening, so we can help them detect that early and stop that early as well. But also things like medical research, even things such as working with the Black Dog Institute around how can we pick up on trigger signs that then can help prevent youth suicide as well. So it's a really diverse set of companies that we work with, which makes it a really interesting organisation because we're doing so many different things using data to make decisions.
Okay, awesome. No, it definitely sounds like it. And I mentioned off the top there that you are the HR manager there at SAS. Now, most people would have heard the term HR or human resources. So can you talk to us a bit more about what you do as a HR manager, what that means, and what a day looks like for you as a HR manager with SAS?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, lots of diversity in my role too, which I love. And so it's everything from making sure that we're hiring the right people into the organisation. So going out to the market to get the right talent. But then once they're here, how do we create a great experience for them so they get the best out of their career at SAS? And so we have a lot of different employee programs, lots of training development, recognition programs, so people are being valued and recognised for the work that they do, and they have ongoing growth and development in their roles as well. So spending time on that, but also working with managers, coaching managers about how they can be great leaders within the organisation, and spending quite a bit of time with them around making sure again that we've got the right talent in the organisation. So it's a very diverse role. I think people think about HR and that we're people, and we are, and we're trying to create a great experience for our employees.
Okay, awesome. And what led you to this role, working in HR and then with SAS specifically? Was this something you were always keen on? Did you just kind of grow into it as your career continued? Can you walk us through, I guess, your career journey a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't. I didn't even, when I was at school, I didn't have any visibility of HR. I didn't have it in mind as a career. I actually started out in the hospitality industry and had a number of roles in hospitality. I moved into customer service roles within a software organisation, and then I really stumbled into an HR role. It was an HR coordinator role, and what attracted me to it was it is a customer service role, if you think of it that way. So our customers are our employees and our managers, and there was a lot of variety in it. So I worked in HR as an HR coordinator for a couple of years, and it was through the encouragement of my manager at that time that she encouraged me to think about stepping into an HR business partner role, which is more, as I say, working with the managers, putting in place the programs, etc., that we have versus the administrative side of the coordinator role. And she strongly encouraged me to go to university at that time. So I actually went to university as a mature age student, which I didn't know was a thing, to be honest, until I got into my HR career, which opened up a world of learning experience for me. I never thought I'd go to university, and so it was a great opportunity. I completed my Masters of Human Resource Management, and from there I joined SAS. I was looking for an organisation that was of the size that I like, which is, we've got about 300 odd employees across Australia and New Zealand, so I know everyone, and I really liked that. But also we're a global organisation, so there's lots of opportunities as well. So I do partner with my colleagues across the world, and we get to bring lots of experiences, lots of programs, lots of initiatives to life as well across the globe. So having a local impact but also a global impact within the organisation. And SAS is known for being an organisation that really cares about its people, and Dr. Goodnight, our founder and CEO, he often talks about you put your employees first, and the rest will follow. So they'll look after your customers, and then your financial results will come from that. And that's true within the organisation. It's not just something that's said.
Okay, amazing. And you've obviously touched on there about the people and the culture in the business, and why that's so important to you. Are you able to talk to us a bit more about that? Because I know that it's something that's probably more important to people than ever before, especially when you think about what we've gone through the last few years, is the work culture, the office culture, the office flexibility, like, do we have the option to work from home or go pick up the kids from school, that type of stuff. That seems like that is more important than ever before. So do you feel like something that SAS is really accomplished in making sure that work culture and the people are paramount, if that makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And we always thought we were a flexible workplace. And then when the events of the pandemic came and we did move to full remote working, which we were so fortunate we were able to do. We already had all the infrastructure set up to do that. So we were able to do that. And I think because employees have obviously been experiencing that remote work for a couple of years, they've created new habits. So we want to continue providing those flexibility options. So we're doing what many organisations are doing, which is about a hybrid workplace. So employees have the option to work from home, but also work from the office, because we do still recognise there's a place for the office. I think in-person connections are still really important, coming together so you have a sense of team, and just a bit of fun as well. So we are people are coming back into the office a couple of days a week, but they're also enjoying the flexibility of not having to commute every day, and then that flexibility, as you say, around being able to be there for the family situations, such as dropping the kids off, picking them up. Also carers' responsibilities. We've got a number of employees that are looking after their aging parents, so flexibility around that. And because of the nature of the work that we have, it's really focused on the outcomes of what you do, not the time that you spend sitting at a desk. So we're very fortunate that we're able to instill that in our culture. And definitely, as you say, employees now, one of their number one priorities is work-life balance and flexibility.
Awesome. No, I love that people first focus, and making sure that people have got opportunity and flexibility with what works for them. Like, I know myself personally, I like coming into the office here. We're in South Melbourne, down in Victoria. I like coming in because I work better in that environment. But some of the people in here prefer working from home and not having to commute. So I think being able to give people that option to, have their work life work with their personal life, I think is really important, rather than there being these two separate entities that are constantly fighting each other. I think having, a work life that helps support you is really important. Now, one thing I wanted to move on and touch on quickly was, you mentioned before that you guys are data analytics. Now, from the outside, a lot of people might look at that and go, okay, it's a lot of crunching numbers, it's a lot of math, it's a lot of, the STEM fields. Is it as simple as that? Is that too simplistic as pigeonholing it as crunching numbers, or is that a bit of a stereotype in working in data and analytics?
Yeah, so there's definitely some of that, and we do have some statisticians for sure, and there's a lot of mathematics involved. So absolutely. For the Australian and the New Zealand business where we are, we're a sales-focused organisation. So our head office in the US are the ones developing the software, and then here we're selling the software to the organisations. So there's that side of it as well. And then of course we do have our delivery or our consulting services who are doing a lot of that data wrangling, which is around getting the data into the right sort of sets in order to be utilised by the software. So it's a diverse group of employees that we have. We have, as I say, sales, then our technical people, and then we have your support services as well, so such as HR, finance, marketing, etc. So it's a broad set of employees that we cater for.
Okay, awesome. And you've obviously just touched on their diverse range of roles and a diverse range of people, which I think is really great and really important in today's day and age. Looking forward into the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the future of work is something which is really on people's mind because they're worried about, is this industry even going to exist in 20 years? Is my job going to be taken by these super smart robots and I'm not going to have a job? I know there's a big focus on getting more young females into the STEM fields, which I'm sure you guys have got a big focus on as well. So you're able to talk to us about what the future of work looks like for SAS, and I guess how you kind of see that progressing over the next 10, 20 years?
Yeah, certainly it's the big question, that one, isn't it? But certainly we will see, I would say, parts of roles become automated. That's a given, and that's the field that we're in, is around automating some of those processes. But that will give people opportunity to move into other areas and use their knowledge and that human side. Obviously, looking at data is important, and predictive analytics and those sorts of things, but having the human element is still going to be important. Certainly we are very conscious of wanting to increase female representative in our workforce. So we do have a Women's Initiative Network, which is around, raising awareness with young girls around why they should stay in STEM subjects too, because we do believe that will be the future as well, more and more around that aspect. So we do have a number of initiatives around trying to encourage girls to stay in those subjects, and then showing them that we're an organisation where we're supportive of women in the workforce as well. So again, that comes to that flexibility piece. The more flexible we are, then the more diverse employees that can join our organisation. So yeah, I think what we'll see, not just at SAS but everywhere, I think people will have multiple careers. I don't think it's those days where you just have one career. I think it's a journey that you'll go on throughout your life, and I would say people people should realise that you're going to evolve over time, and there will be change, and you'll need to be adaptive and stay relevant in the market as well.
Okay, awesome. So for people who are listening to this and going, I'm loving what Libby's got to say, this sounds right up my alley, what do they need to do to get started on this process? Like, what are SAS looking for? Are there qualifications that you need? How do you get your foot in the door, and how do you get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So it really depends on, as I say, we've got diverse employees, so it depends on what avenue you want to go down. So if you're looking to be in the technical field, then certainly STEM subjects are really important to stay with those. If you're looking for something like a sales role, for instance, we do have academy programs where we hire early career hires into those sorts of roles as well, and then we provide them on the job training. I think one of the attributes we always look for is curiosity. we say that curiosity is at the heart of human progress, which is really around challenging assumptions, seeking to understand, asking questions, and then learning as well, because, you know, something may not go as you planned. And we hear that term fail fast, but I like to think, you know, learn fast. So if something doesn't go to plan, that's okay. Let's just learn from it and use your curiosity to understand why it didn't go to plan. So curiosity is certainly an attribute that we look for, as well as passion. One of the things I see in our employees is real passion around making the world better. And they're doing that with our customers through the use of the data. And making better decisions, and so they're very passionate, and that's the feedback we get from our customers as well, that whenever a SAS employee comes in, they're so passionate about what they do. So having a real passion for what you do.
Okay, amazing. I think that's great advice. And last question I wanted to leave you on today before we left things was, what advice would you give to any young people who are potentially watching this today, who are currently going through their secondary schooling, so maybe in year 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever it may be, because it's often a really stressful time. You're asked to make a lot of big decisions when realistically at a super young age, you're more worried about what's happening on the weekend or what parties are on or who's winning in the football or whatever it may be. But at the same time, you're being asked to make subject choices, and if you plan on going to further education, and if so, what are you going to study, or if you're not doing that, you're going straight to the workforce. So it's a super stressful time, super complicated, with a lot going on and people throwing things at you left, right and centre. So what advice would you give to any young people watching this today who are currently kind of going through that at the moment?
Yeah, and you know that I always think there's some people that are really clear on what their future path is, and there's some that aren't. And I think it's okay not to be super clear, but do take up opportunities as they arise, and know that you can always make different decisions in the future as well. So if you do pick a subject, or if you do pick a career and it doesn't work out as you plan, don't beat yourself up. You know, just take the next opportunity and just move forward. I'd also say enjoy the journey. I think when I look back, and you try not always get to an end point, but enjoy the journey along the way, and enjoy the see, you know, that curiosity again. You think about things as a learning opportunity versus I've just got to get to the end point. But yeah, I think my strong advice there is, just because something doesn't work out the first time, don't let that get you down. Try the next thing, or there's always another opportunity, and take up those opportunities when they come. You know, we'll regret the things that we didn't do.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. And don't compare yourself to others. I think it's really important. As you said, there's always going to be somebody, you're always going to have a mate or somebody in your class who seems to have everything organised and planned out to the T and know exactly what they're doing. And that's fantastic, good for them. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you need to be the same way. I know myself personally, I did a range of different things and tried so many things until I worked out what I was keen on and what I was good at, you know, and I'm now 30. So there's definitely no rush. And I think, as you said, give things a crack, see how you go. There's no stress or pressure. Don't look at the person sitting next to you if they've got everything lined up. That certainly doesn't mean that you need to be in the same boat. But Libby, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great hearing about your role, your personal career story, and careers at SAS and what that looks like. Of course, if you do want to learn more about a career with SAS, then you can visit the SAS profile on explorecareers.com.au. You can also visit all the SAS socials and the SAS website. We'll leave all the relevant links down below. So if you are keen on what Libby's had to say today, you can go and do your own investigating. But thank you so much again, Libby. It's been so fantastic chatting to you.
Great. Thanks, Mitch. Pleasure.